Hey guys, welcome back. What we'll do now is move on to this navigation menu on the left. So we need to create a new class for this, and it's going to provide us with all these links. So I'll show you what it's going to look like. You'll see we have this home link and trending, subscriptions, etc. And also our subscriptions will appear here too. So go back to our text editor and let's create a new class. So I'll save this in the includes classes folder, and this will be called navigation menu provider. So navigation menu provider.php. Oh, I've got a space there. So navigation menu provider.php, and then open up your PHP block, and then close it off, and then say class navigation menu provider. Okay, navigation menu provider, and we'll have two private variables. So private, and then one is going to be the connection variable, and then one will be the user logged in object. Okay, just like we've done a bunch of times before. And we'll create the constructor now. Public function underscore underscore construct, and then pass these two in the constructor. And then underneath that we'll just assign these. So this arrow con equals con, and then underneath that we'll just say the same for use logged in. Great, so we've done this a bunch of times before, I don't really need to explain this anymore to you. And then we'll also do a create function, so public function create, and this will take no parameters, so that's good. And then we're also going to do one more function underneath that, which we'll be using right away, and it's going to be a private function because we're calling it from within this class, and the name is going to be create nav item, like this, and this will provide us with our navigation items. So we'll start off by doing this create nav item function because it's real short. It's going to take three parameters though. It's going to take the text we want to display, it's going to take the icon, and then it also is going to take the link, which will be when we click it. And all we're going to do is just return some HTML. So return, and in double quotes, we'll just return a div with the class navigation item. All right. And then we'll close the div off as well. And then in there, we'll do an anchor tag. So a href equals, and then put your link in there. All pretty straightforward stuff. And I'll close that off too. And then in there, we'll also do an image. So img, and we need to put the source of the image, which is where the image comes from, of course. And that is just going to be icon. And the very last thing is just to do a span. So span. No class on this, and we'll just put the text in there like that, and then close the span off, and that's it. The function's done. So this will just give us our navigation item HTML, okay? And then in the create function, what we're going to do is create our first link. So we'll just say menu HTML, because this is what we're going to use eventually. Menu HTML equals, and then we'll just call this arrow create, and then this new function we just wrote nav item, like that. Create nav item, and of course it takes three parameters. So the first parameter is the text, and the text of our first navigation item is going to be home, like this. All right, and then we want to do the icon, and the icon we're going to use, let me just open up the Finder for you. So here's the folder of my site. We're going to go to the assets folder, and then we're also going to go to the images folder, and then icons. And you'll see we have all these icons, of course, that we added right at the start of the course, and one of them is the home icon right here. So we'll add that, okay? So the path to that is assets/images/icons/home.png, like that. And of course, if you've used other icons, you just need to replace that link with the icon that you want to use. So the very last parameter is the link it wants to go to, and when you press the home button, we want to go to index.php, like that, and that's it. That'll create our menu HTML now. And underneath that, we'll do something very similar. What I'm going to do is copy this whole line and paste it below, but I'll change this from equals to dot equals, because here what we're going to do is set it for the first time, and underneath that we're going to be appending it, so we need to use the dot equals, okay? And then we'll just change the link. This one will be the trending page, and then we'll change this icons link to trending, and I'll show you what that is. It's this one here, which is like a little flame symbol, and then the path will be trending.php. Okay, and obviously we haven't created that page yet. I'm pasting that link again underneath, and we'll create another item now. This will be the subscriptions. That'll be the text of the link, and then the icon is going to be subscriptions. Oops, so make sure you spell it right. Subscriptions, and I'll show you what that icon is. It's this one here. So it's like a little stack of drawers. And then the path is going to be subscriptions. And then I'll paste it underneath again. And this is going to be the liked videos. So the text will be liked videos. And the icon is going to be thumb dash up. And this is the same thumb up we use on the like buttons. And the page is going to be liked videos.php. And now we're going to add 2 more links, but these ones are going to be conditional on whether they're logged in or not. So if they're logged in, we're going to display the settings link and the logout link. If they're not logged in, we don't want to display these at all. Okay. Now you might be thinking we shouldn't be displaying these either if they're not logged in, but we will display those, mostly so the navigation bar isn't completely empty, but also when they click on it, we'll just show a message saying you need to log in. Okay. So, but these 2 down here, we won't show them at all if they're not logged in. So go back to here, and it's real simple. All we need to do is just say if, like that, and then say user, : is logged in. All right. And then paste that menu HTML in there. And I've just noticed that I haven't been putting a dot after all these, so make sure you do a dot after that, a dot after this, and a dot after that. So sorry about that. Just to reiterate, you need the equals after the first one, but after that, because we're appending this string, you need to do a dot after all these. All right, so make sure after the first one, they all have dot equals instead of equals. All right, and the link is going to be settings, and then the icon is going to be settings.png, and then the page is going to be settings.php. Paste that below and change this to log out, and then the icon is going to be logout.png, and then finally the page is going to be logout.png, and that's it. Underneath that, I'll just do a comment and say create subscriptions section. We'll come back and do that, and then all we'll do is just return some HTML, just div class equals navigation items, and underneath that I'll close the div off, and then in there all we're going to do is put this menu HTML and then do a semicolon, and that's it. Let's go ahead and call this now. So in the header.php, we're just going to include a reference to it. So right at the top of the file, I'm going to copy this one of these lines, paste it below, and change this to navigation menu provider. All right, so now we should have the class, and then right at the bottom, inside this side nav container, which is blank at the moment, all we need to do is open a PHP block and then close it off. And in there, we're going to say navigation provider equals new navigation menu provider, like that. And then the parameters were connection variable, which is con, and the user logged in, which is just user logged in object. And then under that, last thing to do is just echo navigation provider arrow create, like that, and that should be it. Let's refresh the page now and see what we see. Do we see any errors, or has it worked? So you can see it's worked. There are no errors. We have all the links and their icons, but it doesn't look great at the moment, so we still need to style this.